Are we on?
Yes.
It's Tuesday, biatch.
Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum dum. Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum. Dana.
This is a story so bizarre and so grotesque that Netflix would never make it into a movie because it's so unbelievable. It is a story of the neglect and abuse of a nursing home resident that reaches to the highest levels of power, politics, and the press. Y'all know Tracy Kornak, the former treasurer of the Michigan Democratic Party. She was hauled into probate court this week, suspected of embezzling from her ward, a brain-damaged elderly woman. I caught Cornac feasting on the woman's finances nearly 4 years ago and have written many stories about it since. I've made TV appearances. I even lost my newspaper job over it. After my first story was published, Attorney General Dana Nessel, a close friend of Cornac, opened a superficial investigation that was really no investigation at all. Her detectives made a few cursory phone calls before Nessel prodded them into shutting down the criminal case. Just like that. And Cornac, it is alleged, continued to suck the old woman dry. At least that's what a special fiduciary attorney, Morgan Mall, believes, using phrases like significant discrepancies and missing assets and concerns about charges. Mall asked Jolene Clearwater, God bless her, the chief probate judge of Allegan County, my brother, for a 6-month extension into the investigation into Cornac's decades-long conservatorship over the woman's finances. The old woman died last April, and now the judge wants to know what happened to her money, her condominium, her insurance settlement from the car accident, her trust, her estate plan, who made debit card purchases on the day of her death. Not only did Clearwater agree to Mall's request, she also ruled that Cornac, a slip-and-fall attorney by trade, must pay for Mall's time. Cornac, for her part, said nothing in defense of herself. What began as a story about a simple insurance scam perpetrated by Cornac in the name of the old woman has morphed into a scandal implicating Governor Gretchen Whitmer and threatens the impeachment of Dana Nessel. Cornac was a suspected embezzler, and Whitmer and Nessel knew about those allegations. Nevertheless, they allowed her to continue in her political position as treasurer of the state Democratic Party. In fact, Whitmer was planning to appoint Cornac to a judgeship as soon as the criminal investigation went away. But Cornac was never given a judicial robe because I would not let this story die. After Nessel complained about a column I published in the Detroit News chronicling her unethical interference into the Cornac investigation, I replied to Nessel on social media with the phrase, "See you next Tuesday." Yes, it's a euphemism for female genitalia. My pearl-clutching colleagues at the Detroit News feigned outraged, tarred me as a misogynist, and I was forced to resign. Professional jealousy is an ugly thing. Not another word was written in that rotten newspaper about this rotten scandal. I've canceled my subscription, but I kept publishing, first online and now with the Michigan Enjoyer. And so here we are. Tuesday has arrived. The Kent County Sheriff's Office has completed its own 2-year investigation into Cornac's stewardship of the old woman's financial affairs. Among its recommendations are charges of felony embezzlement, which carries a 20-year prison term. That report now sits on the desk of Chris Becker, come on Chris, the Kent County prosecutor, come on Chris, who is considering charges, come on Chris. Most nauseating about this whole affair, beyond the alleged abuse of an elder who could not fend for herself, is that those in power knew all along. I called them. I shouted questions at them. I mocked them online, in print, and on TV. So who are they? They are those who were in a position to protect the old woman. The governor, the attorney general, the Democratic Party brass, the attorney grievance commission. I'm coming for you. The probate court and the rotten media. They proved themselves to be what they accused me of being. Misogynists, abusers of women, You let her get sucked dry. Resign. Worse, they all proved themselves to be cowards. There is a light in this dark story. The Enjoyer and the No Bullshit News Hour, and now you have learned that the FBI has begun making inquiries into the sordid affair. If justice can prevail, then things might be better for the next little old lady who comes around. We got some video, Mark, from that day. Hey, Ken, did you send Mark the video? I did. You guys want to see the day in court?
Yes.
Roll it. Where do you think this ranks in terms of skullduggery? Pedophiles, puppy abusers, and people who steal old people's money. Tracy Cornac, the former treasurer of the Michigan Democratic Party, was hauled into court this week, suspected of embezzling from her ward, a brain-damaged old lady. Well, now the old woman is dead, and the probate judge has ordered a full-blown forensic investigation, going back a decade. And here comes the suspect. Ms. Cornac, sounds to me like the judge thinks you embezzled from a brain-damaged old lady. You have any comment on that? Can you tell me what happened?
Stop touching me.
We have no
Stop
comment.
touching me.
Okay, so I'm right here.
Stop
Give us
touching
space
me.
or
Well,
we'll go get
don't you
to
think?
your thing.
Don't you think you shouldn't have touched the woman's
Don't
money?
you think that you shouldn't have just...
Did you collude with the attorney general to make this case go away? Do you think she should be impeached?
Stop touching me.
What happened to the woman's
Stop
money?
touching me. Stop touching me. Hit the ground.
Excellent.
Stop touching me.
So, where do you think this ranks in terms of skullduggery? Pedophiles, puppy abusers, and people who steal old people's money. The sheriff of Kent County's investigated you and is recommending 20 years in prison for identity theft and embezzlement. Any comment on that? Who was using the old woman's debit card the day after she died? Was that you? Do you regret this? Are you a misogynist? Ma'am, do you think you can do the time? You think she can do the time? Going down?
Live from downtown Detroit, it's the No Bullshit News Hour with my main man, Charlie LeDuff and Karen Dumas.
This just it, breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
All right, BS Newshour brought to you by PAM, Public Adjusters Midwest. The insurance company has an adjuster. Why shouldn't you? You suffer fire or water damage on your home or cottage or your commercial building. The insurance company sends their guys, gives it the once over, and tells you what you're going to get. So who's representing you? Public Adjusters Midwest, that's who. They're like your insurance lawyer for fire and water claims on residential and commercial properties. 855-975-2020 or go to their website, callpamfirst.com. I told you once, I told you twice. I took their card, I put it in with my insurance papers. You call, there's no charge. And if you don't think you have the right insurance, because I asked them to do this, listeners of this show, give them a call, and for free, they will look at your insurance policy and make sure you have the coverage you need. No charge. Have a representative. Also, hey, what we doing here, man? We doing Luke?
Yeah, let's do Luke.
Wealth Financial Advisor, Luke Nowacki, at 248-663-4748. Yeah, that Luke. Is this the hole-in-one?
It's a hole-in-one, $50,000 if you hit it.
Luke Nowacki, Financial Wealth Management. What is 50 grand after tax?
37,750.
What about state tax?
Yeah, I'm throwing both in there.
What about
State,
sales tax?
There's no sales tax.
Well, you're buying the beer.
It's income.
You'll buy the beer.
We write that off.
Luke Nowacki, Financial Wealth Management.
I'm Grace Karros, and I'm third generation of American Coney Island. People say Detroit's a comeback city. I say, where you been? We've been here for over 100 years. My family's been here on the same corner, serving our famous proprietary American Coney Island hot dog. So like always, we're keeping things fresh, updated, and new. We'd love to have you come downtown and visit us, but if you can't, you can always go to AmericanConeyIsland.com, order a Coney kit, get it delivered fresh right to your door.
where's my notes? Who's this guy again? That's Senator Aric Nesbitt, the Republican leader of the Michigan Senate chamber, running for governor. Thanks for coming, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, where's the notes? I made some notes. I prepared for this.
You didn't share with me any of these notes, so
I don't know if you want them.
Let's see it. So that's
Look where they've been.
That's, hold on a second. Let's get this right. Let's get your name out there.
I've been warned about you, Charlie.
Nesbitt.
Close.
Is that correct?
Yeah, Eric with an A.
Oh, well, I didn't say it was with an E.
Yeah, Eric with an A. Middle of 5 kids, all
What's
started
up with
with
that?
A's.
It's like Arctic. What,
My
you born in an igloo? What's going on?
middle of 5 kids, all started with A's, and by the time Mom got to me, it was either going to be Eric or Erica with an A.
That's the same in my family. That's why they call me asshole.
I'm sure glad she went with Eric. I probably would have grown up a little tougher if it was Erica.
And we got political hitman Jason Rose sitting in as well. Guys, first of all, what would you make of that opening? You're a leader in this state. You're from Allegan County. This is what was going on. Where are we in this process of Nessel? She's already been referred for contempt charges, which Richard Nixon was referred for contempt charges in his impeachment proceedings. Where are we at with this? What's the scuttlebutt up
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to make it in Michigan right now. We see this day after day with working families, with small business owners, and with our kids not being able to read. But you look at the challenges that are out there, and here's somebody that's stealing from an old lady.
The treasurer
And it's
of the
taken
Democrats.
how many years to at least just get a court appearance? This is corruption at the worst level. This is wrong. And it needs to be solved and needs to be taken care of. And unfortunately, over the last 7 years, what we've seen, it's been tougher and tougher for families and for our small business owners and our kids to actually make it here in the state. I mean, we're bottom 10 state in per capita income. The average family nationally makes $9,000 more than the average family here in Michigan. In Detroit, it's even worse, right? Small business owners are trying to invest and grow here in the state. And what do they get? Just bureaucratic red tape out of Lansing. You know, I had a restaurant owner down the road over in Taylor that was trying to build a new restaurant. And Whitmer's bureaucrats came down and was like, no, there's a mud puddle in the back. That's a wetland. Can't build. $6 million investment can't happen. Boat manufacturer over in Holland, trying to replace their docks. They're 5 years in, $1.5 million of legal and engineering costs to replace freaking docks.
Yeah.
700 employees at that firm, right? All while it costs more to live in Michigan with the highest energy costs, highest electricity costs, highest insurance costs
The
in the
least
Midwest.
reliable energy grid.
But this is the point, and yet you have people that are fleecing old people.
Who are the party leaders and covering it up, bro. Covering it
Where
up.
are the priorities when 3 out of 5 fourth graders can't read at grade level?
Well, let's start with this. I want action. Like, Cornac was on Nessel's transition committee. They won't tell me what she did. I got a feeling it's got something to do with elder abuse. This elder abuse task force that goes nowhere. No action on the nursing homes. No action on probate. They're feasting on old people, and we can't get anything to move. Are there going to be impeachment hearings? You're not in the House, but do you hear anything?
I know there's been conversations, and I think it's going to be things like this that come to light. And it's going to be about real reporters doing real investigative reporting and uncovering this stuff of what's out there. Fortunately, in the House right now, there's a larger oversight committee.
Yeah.
And my hope is that as they peel back this case and other cases, that folks are held accountable. These people in Lansing need to be held accountable for what's going on.
This is grotesque.
Period, paragraph.
And it's all politics because it's going to go like this. If the House, and they have the votes, if they move to impeach her, boom, it goes to the Senate. And it's got to be a 2/3 majority to remove her from office. That'll never happen. But at least being tarred as the first public official in the history of Michigan to be impeached would be a nice little Wikipedia site for Dana Nessel. But the problem is the Republican leadership in the House is like, if we impeach Nessel, then she'll be able to raise unlimited amounts. All the caps on the campaign finance are removed by law. so you can fight your impeachment. They're worried that she'll take that money and give it to the Democrats. And I say, so fucking what? What we endured, all the people that died in those nursing homes, all the old people getting raped, our kids got ruined. We're not going to do that? Should we do that? You're the Republican guy.
We should absolutely do it. I mean, whether it's Nessel, whether it is Benson as Secretary of State or Whitmer as governor, for the last 7 years, all of them have gotten away with overt corruption that isn't getting any law enforcement investigations until now. And the other thing it's not getting is any media attention. Anything that the Republicans highlight in the fraud and corruption with those three elected leaders, the media ignores because it comes from Republicans. They've done no due diligence, nothing whatsoever. You'll see sometimes the Inside Lansing publications will cover it a little bit, but you don't see the mainstream media in this state focused on what's going on in our capital.
But Charlie, this is the thing, 7 years, right?
Yeah.
And we're in 2026, where the governor's gone, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, attorney general, if we do our job this year in this election. And this is the point, is that if Jocelyn Benson becomes governor of Michigan, things are just going to get worse. You think things are bad now? She's less competent and more liberal than Whitmer is.
Well, look, you're a farmer, right?
I grew up on a 6th-generation dairy and grape farm. I
Working
know
guy.
Yeah, value of hard work. Hell, we didn't have air conditioning. I had to sleep on the main floor when we're baling hay.
I still don't
after
have
baling
it.
hay.
Spare me the log cabin bullshit. Sleep in the bathtub. Did you ever do that? It got so hot.
No,
I did that because the porcelain's nice.
Sometimes
and
in the
cool.
basement was even better, but it's just that much cooler down there. Mm-hmm. But yes, if we're going to take the car to school, we'd have to get up at 5:30 in the morning to do morning chores, to, scrape the holding area, run the feed bunk, actually shower before going to school, because that was hard work.
They had a car.
My oldest brother did.
Dude, we were
the only way
we
they
were
could.
so poor that when I broke my leg, my dad taught me how to limp.
And you still are. You still are, aren't
Just
you?
like Tracy Kornak. Did you see her? Oh, she walking around like that. Can you believe it? This woman shows up in how much was that coat? $1,000? Fuchsia?
It's very fancy.
You're accused of fucking bleeding an old woman to death, and you're wearing a fuchsia mohair. Was that mohair, you think? What was that? No? Wool?
I'm going to go with wool.
Damn. The nerve. Okay, but anyway.
But my
point is, this is Michigan. So naturally, by birth, old school, we're working people. So I lean Democrat, you know what I mean? In my spirit.
Maybe that was my grandpa's Democratic Party.
That's where I belong.
But
They
today's,
left.
they're the party of the elites, the
Yeah, they're the
coastal
ones
elites,
wearing the
New York
fuchsia
City,
mohair
San
coat.
Francisco. These guys don't represent
They don't
Macomb, Downriver, the working class.
Law
to
and
show
order,
up.
a fair wage. And you don't fucking hurt people that can't defend themselves.
Amen.
What the fuck is this?
Greatness of America. And so so a little about, I went to Hillsdale College to my degree in economics.
I heard it's nice over there.
Beautiful school in the middle
Rolling
of South
hills.
Central Michigan.
Everybody dies
Have
of
you ever
old
been
age.
there?
Yeah, I used to live there
In Hillsdale.
until the sheriff told me to move my van.
Well, he endorsed me, so.
He was
Sheriff
in the right.
Hodgshire,
He
he's
was in
all
the
on
right.
board. He probably was. 3 young kids, beautiful wife, a 6-year-old daughter, 3-year-old son. He's in a 9-month-old daughter. And boy, girls are girls and boys are boys. That 3-year-old boy is a terror. But anybody who says that there's not a difference between boys and girls are wrong. Like, this is part of the reason why I'm running, is to make sure that my daughter, when she gets into high school, if she happens to play sports, that there's no men playing with her. There's no men actually in the shower. Just common sense like that, right? But it starts, if you remember, 6 years ago during COVID, the lockdowns, the pandemic.
Gee, I hardly remember. Yeah.
6 years ago now.
Man.
And so it was 5.5 years ago, second shutdowns. We're expecting our second born. We're going to the OB's office with my wife. We're joking. We're having fun, right? Mm-hmm. Get to the parking lot. I can't go in because of Whitmer and the Democrat lockdowns.
Right.
I have to stay in the car.
Yep.
A little while later, I get a text from my wife saying we lost our second born to a miscarriage. I'm sitting out in the freaking car. My wife and us are going through the worst thing that can imaginable, losing a child.
I'm so
right?
sorry to hear that.
And it's your next governor that'll never happen again.
Oh, my God.
This is on Whitmer and the Democrats that I couldn't be holding her hand.
Oh, my God, man.
But that story's not just there. It's the thousands of deaths in nursing homes. It's the thousands of stories of lockdowns, of kids that can't get an education. The average child in Michigan right now is nearly a year behind in grade level just because of the lockdowns. That doesn't include any of the taking away the accountability measures. And then you add it up in the state that we're bottom 10 in per capita income. We're bottom 10 in terms of unemployment, bottom 10 in terms of economic growth. And 3 out of 5 fourth graders can't read at grade level.
You got me shook by that, man. That's really sad. I'm sorry for you.
5.5 years later.
I remember my brother dying during COVID, and you could only stare through a window.
Couldn't hug him.
I'm sorry for you. Could you just do Bernie? I need a minute, man. That's fucking hard. Here I go. Well, you know, when it rains, the power goes out. And when the power goes out, the internet goes out. When the internet goes out, I call my friend Matt and Bernie at XG Service Group. Look at Bernie here on his hands and knees, giving it everything he's got. Look at that man crack. So busy, he forgot to wear a belt. There's Matt right there getting the board together. That's 734-245-4100 if you need Matt and Bernie to come take care of your voice over internet, your security cameras, off-campus access control, Wi-Fi, and cameras for homes and business. They'll design it for you. You got restaurants, they do drive-through systems, railroad cameras for public safety, total wireless camera systems for your home and business. Yeah, that's right. Call XG Services at 734-245-4100. Yeah. Okay, so you've just steeled me. I'm reinforced. That hurt to hear. Any of us that are fathers or mothers, I'm going to keep going. And here's what I know now. We never got an accounting of the old people that we love. Not just the unborn, but the old people. End-of-life care has not been fixed. In fact, Whitmer's chief of nursing home response during COVID, his series of nursing homes just went bankrupt. They're some of the worst in the country. That was the chief. In Bridge Magazine, we read, God bless them, these young people over there at Bridge Magazine. Go look at that. But go to theenjoyer.com. They just did an expose. I don't know in what time frame it was. Maybe the last year. 36 elders died from neglect and abuse in the nursing homes. So nothing's been fixed.
In this governor doesn't want to sign legislation to allow family members to put
her.
video
She's
cameras.
Gone. What are you going to do about it?
That's the accountability.
I have a commitment from you, my brother, that you're going to take a look at probate, nursing homes, and actually try to fix this rotten system where people suffer at the end of their lives. Do I have that commitment from you? It's a yes or no.
Yeah, absolutely. With a 78-year-old mother that I know if she didn't have the 5 kids close by that are still heading the state, that I know the challenges she has going through separating fact from fiction, from folks calling her, folks stopping by, right? People prey on them because they want to believe the best in people, right? Mm-hmm. And this is, in older you get, more forgettable you can be. The whole goal is, how do you protect Michigan families? How do you protect Michigan seniors? How do you make sure that everybody can actually make it here in Michigan, and that these fraudsters, scammers, criminals are actually put away in prison?
That's where we've
done.
So everything takes money.
And so I look at it. I look at it. 6 years ago now, my dad passed away. It was about a month before COVID. He served 3 tours in Vietnam. He was a farmer, long-haired, full beard, old school hippie. In the 80s, I had to say he was part of ZZ Top.
My guy.
Yeah, recently I had to say he was from Duck Dynasty. You know, but you know, he always said he dodged the draft, he joined. Served 3 tours in Vietnam, came in as a private, made sergeant 3 times, came out as a private. And it was the beginning of January of 2020. and he was having trouble breathing. I mean, tough guy, right? Finally took him to the doctor. The doctor's like, you got to go to the emergency room. He's AFibing. Long story short, took 3 liters of liquid off his lungs. There was cancer. 3 weeks later, he was gone. And before he passed away, he, a few things. We had that last week it was hard to talk to, but the week before he passed away, there was a few things that he really told me. And one of them, when Trump came on the scene, he wasn't really the biggest fan, but he was ready to vote for him in 2020. You know why? Because he says anybody who went on in the big government, big unions, big corporation hate as much as they do, all covered by big media. And he never started a land war in Asia. That was always his starting point. He has to be doing something for the little guy. Mm. And I think it's good to remember that. What he told me is that what is it about that common person on the street that you're doing? Do you have them in your front and center? Or do you have the lobbyists up in Lansing front and center?
And let's not forget, nobody's little. There's nobody worth anything more than anybody else.
Amen.
That's the collective.
Amen.
Oh, Jesus, is that hippie? The collective? Did I say the collective? Did I? Be free, be yourself, but look out for each other. I don't like this. Again, so where do we get the money to fix nursing homes? How do we hold them accountable? We need a bureaucracy. Here's what I do know. You're calling, very rightly, for an audit of our daycare. The majority of fraud, and this is the government's number, and it's much higher. The majority of fraud is in Medicaid, Medicare. I don't know why people on government assistance need daycare. You ain't going to work. So are you launching that? We need our Tim Harry Walls.
Well, you look at the history with Governor Whitmer and her administration. $8.5 billion of unemployment insurance fraud.
I remember.
Poof, gone. Yep. Right?
No accountability.
Tens of millions of dollars.
Well, Kim Kardashian got paid.
Tens of millions of dollars to buddies of Whitmer for economic development.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Poof. These food stamp benefits.
The SNAP, yeah.
Fraud, waste, and
abuse. Well, you know what they did?
All over.
Here's what they did. Biden administration, and it all funnels through the state. So even the federal money is applied through the state. They raised, after inflation, they increased SNAP benefits by 20% for the emergency. Well, COVID's gone. So we're not cutting anything. That was an emergency. You can't go to work. Okay, now go to work and bring it down so we can take that money and make sure old people and unborn children and school kids learn. We got the money.
And so now with Tim
Yes,
Waltz,
sir, or no, sir? That's a question.
Oh, there's plenty of money. It's about accountability.
Yeah.
And so you see what Tim Waltz in Minnesota, the scams that have happened under their childcare system. And he's not running for re-election because it's broken out so much, right? That I asked, I mandated the Auditor General to do a full investigation of our childcare here in the state. Because I don't think this is one-off. And I don't think it's just all of a sudden Minnesota is special. Right?
No, California, everywhere. I've been everywhere. And
this governor's increased spending by 45% over the last 7 years.
Let's say that again. The budget, and I'm gonna take inflation.
Your income's increased by 45%, right?
I'm going to adjust for inflation. The governor has increased the budget of Michigan after Biden's inflation by 25%. Do you feel better in life in Michigan? Are your energy bills going down? Watch this. It's the Green New Scam. By 2040, we have to now have 100% renewable energy source. DTE and consumers have been moving to natural gas to power everything. Price of natural gas is plummeting. Why is my my utility bill going up 10%? Why, sir?
The Democrats passed Green New Scam, where they say we're going to power the economy with pixie dust and rainbows. You can't do that.
If there's a rainbow, that means it was raining, which means it's cloudy, which means solar energy is not being produced.
You know what it's going to mean? 300,000 acres of farm and forest land industrialized in the state of Michigan, farmland that'll never go back to farming again. And you're going to turn San Francisco millionaires into San Francisco billionaires. All these solar panels are going to be built in communist China and placed here in Michigan. Needs to be repealed day one.
This is country folk. This is a dude that makes his living on the earth. That's a conservator, a steward of.
If we're going to turn the sixth generation,
wait, hold on, Governor.
Yeah. From your lips
Hopeful.
to God's ears.
Governor Hopeful. We're from Michigan. This is the Great Lakes state, right? I have my shack on the water. Nobody more than us loves the environment, understands it, and wants to protect it. When I went to Michigan, back when it wasn't a communist cesspool, they taught you the difference between conservancy and preservation. Preservation is not touch. Conservancy is humans are involved here. There's a productive and right way to do things. I don't understand trying to make us all be in a square box, eating out of a box, getting into a box, and going to work in a box and turning on the box. That's not a life. I resist with all my heart. I'm like your dad, man. I would love to have met that guy. I would love to have met your child.
I would have too.
So, if elected governor, we're going to repeal that Green New Scam because the rates go up. The price of creating it for the power companies is going down. They just, you know what I did?
What?
I've been fighting DTE, you rats. You're guaranteed a dividend and they're guaranteed a return, right?
Yep.
On their equity, on the number of shares out there. I'm like, you get 3-4%. They're going to go to the Green New Scam. It's either electricity is going to be plentiful, which it won't, and that means they'll sell kilowatts and I'll make money. Or more likely, there's going to be a shortage on energy, which is going to drive the price through the roof, which means it's good for the investor. I couldn't beat them, so I bought shares. I'm a shareholder.
But this is what the left wing wants, and it's going to get worse if it's Governor Benson. It'll never be repealed. They're going to double down on this California crazy. Electric rates are going to continue to go through the roof. Insurance rates are going to continue to go through the roof. Cost of living is going to go up, all while incomes go down and our unemployment rate skyrockets. And yet we have, in the Midwest, we have the best lakes, the best parks, the best trails, the best outdoor.
The best chicks, the best kids, the best beer.
But we have all the recipes to be the greatest
fudge.
state. We have the recipes to be the greatest state in the nation. And we have some of the best people.
We used to be. So what happened? It's not like we changed.
We went from a wealthy state to a welfare state. We got to become a wealthy state again.
Fucking right. I just resist. And everybody's walking around in fuchsia coats.
Instead, you get this quid pro quo economic development of handing corporate CEOs billion-dollar checks instead of returning taxpayers to the taxpayers.
See, I was talking to Jason the other day, and it's like, okay, it's not like the Republican Party is anti-business. I mean, you can't be anti-business. If you're that anti-business, nobody eats. Somebody's got to create the jobs. But it seems to me in that squirrely corporate welfare world of tax abatements and brownfields and bullshit that the Democrats are now the party of the golf club. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the Republicans, it's a weird coalition of the golf club owner.
I call it the smalls.
And the farmer.
I call it the smalls. Your small business owners, your farmers, your workers.
Podcasters.
Folks.
This is heavy work.
I agree.
Folks that show up and work all day. That's what the Republican Party is representing today, are those that just want a fair chance, want to make sure their kids are educated. They have good roads to go to school or work on, that they actually have the opportunity to invest and grow their business here in the state. There's not this wokeism that's going on in the schools. I was talking to it's actually up in Grosse Pointe. I was talking to a family a few months ago, and the parents were telling me that their son, who's in, I think it was 7th grade, 12 years old, wouldn't use the they, them pronoun for another boy in school. got sent to the principal's office. And we got down to the principal's office. He goes, well, I thought with Donald Trump as president, we didn't have to do all this nonsense anymore.
The 12-year-old saying it.
Yes. I told the parent, like, give me the address. I want to write a letter to tell them how proud I am of the kid. But this is the kind of nonsense that you're seeing. Well, 3 out of 5 fourth graders aren't able to read at grade level. You think it's bad statewide? It's even worse here in Detroit. Only 15% attainment here in Detroit.
Yeah, we have the worst school district in America.
And we know that if you're not able to read by grade level at 4th grade, you have a 2 out of 3 chance of doing 1 of 2 things in your life: being on social welfare or in jail. And that's a very bad picture for the state of Michigan in the future.
To that effect, let me tell you something about the great people of the city of Detroit. The data points are correct. And when you're behind the 8 ball like that, and you're still able to navigate modern society, it tells you how much cleverness is in the heart, the blood, and the mind of the people of Detroit, right? They just get shit on and ripped off by their own leadership. That's what happens. I think you probably know, breaking news, give it to me. I got you. Breaking news. The feds are here. Mike Dirt, that's Duggan's new name. Mike Dirt. Hey, Dirt. The feds just got off the bus. They're here. I think grand jury's coming on this demolition shit. They did 30,000 homes. Demolition, filled the holes in with rotten soil, right? Very toxic, can't touch it. For some perspective, there are less than 30,000 domiciles in the city of Flint. So we demolished something bigger than Flint. And just by data points, I'm guessing minimum 20,000 holes are poison. So there's going to be a grand jury. The feds are here now, and this guy wants to run for governor. Now, Detroit cannot ask its citizens again for another bond to clean up the poison because they just passed the bond called Proposition End to clean up the poison, which was the demolition. And then you used it to poison the people. So Detroiters aren't going to go for that. They don't have the money. We can't go to Lansing because the the Republicans aren't going to do it. I don't know. I'm going to get to this. I'm long-winded way to ask you a question. The only people that have money like that are the feds. You have to ask Trump. This is a billion. What's a Bilski? And a $6 trillion budget. What's a Bilski? It's a decimal point, right? But you got Sri Tanahar running around, threatening to impeach Trump every 2 weeks. You got Rashida Tlaib crying outside the gates of the White House. You've got Alyssa Slotkin telling soldiers to disobey orders. You got Jocelyn Benson who won't clean up the election rolls. So who do we have to ask Trump? So I guess we go back around, sir. If elected governor for the people of Detroit, and it seems to me like your heart was bleeding for him a little bit, if it's to this point, would we have your support to, like Flint, to clean up what the scumbags left here?
My sister lives here. My sister lives in Detroit. My niece and nephew live here. It's an important part. We got to get Detroit back to a thriving city to make sure that the neighborhoods.
First of all,
make sure
would you work to clean this environmental disaster up?
It has to be cleaned up.
Thank you.
It has to be.
That's good, dude.
The point is,
let me jump in. All of you politicos, the undernet, the real movers and shakers in this town. Oh yeah, Mary Sheffield can't go to Washington because she was sleeping with the guy that was poison in it. So the people that call me and say, "What do we do?" You can call Aric Nesbitt. You can call him. There's a Republican willing to work to help all of us, right?
I won't be holding up a blue folder in front of my face in the Oval Office.
Yeah, this is a serious problem, sir.
It's changing, going from, as I've put it on the campaign trail, going from the Biden Whitmer administration to the Trump Nesbitt administration, and making sure that we have somebody that's working with President Trump to take care of the people of Michigan.
Okay, You know it's a big deal. You do.
I do.
You know it's sprawling and it's really starting to spit out of control, right? Yep. I mean, trust the No Bullshit News Hour. As sure as I told you, Nessel was covering shit up for her wife, for her friends, for the nursing home industry. It's starting to roll. It's the same with the demolition. Nessel also fucked up that Flynn investigation. Nobody did a day in jail over that. It cost us all. And nobody cared.
Don't forget Benton Harbor.
Benton Harbor, man.
That's down the road from me. Yeah. I have a brother that lives there.
Oh, I kind of like you. I never met you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're calling out places. That includes all of us. That's, I think, the zeitgeist. We're looking for somebody that cares about all of us. Not handouts, but if you're willing to work for it, willing to help you, and if we're in trouble, we got a leader who's there. Are you that guy? Are you that guy, sir?
I'll be that guy. I am that guy.
You know,
there's a lot. But that's the beauty of you, Charlie, is that you always do hold truth to power. And whether you're forgotten in an urban area or in a rural area or in other parts of the state, that they need somebody that's actually understands the challenges that it is to raise a family, to have kids, to be able to retire here, and the challenges to actually put food on the table and to raise children here in the state of Michigan. And it's becoming tougher and tougher.
This stinks. And it doesn't have to stink. You can go to mando.com. Whole body deodorant for the pits, the package, and the feet. Dude, this is bourbon leather. Give me your wrist. Give me your wrist. No, I want to get your fancy watch. Get that smell, man. Isn't that nice?
Now just think about that on your undercarriage.
It goes everywhere. I took the acidified body wash to Allegan County, where you're from, sir. I had to beat the women off in the courtroom. You know, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Is that why Carmack?
Don't touch me.
She was struggling to resist.
Yeah.
She sounded like an ex-wife. I didn't touch you. Okay, stop buying your shitty deodorant from the drugstore, the grocery store, and shop mando.com, mando.com. Use do we have to do the code?
Prefer to, yeah.
Yeah,
so
use the code, no BS. You know why I don't like doing the code? Because if people don't use the code, I look like a loser to the advertiser.
Yeah, but if
nobody
if
they don't know about the code, it's going to look even worse.
You know, when you're the second biggest podcast in Michigan after Drew Lane, you think Drew will do my show?
You think I can get on Drew's show?
Yeah. You want to be on Drew's show?
Yeah.
Drew doesn't like doing politics, though, does he?
Not so much anymore.
I can do gardening, farming, fishing.
That's right up his alley. Like I can't do anything outside.
Yeah, maybe you can like mow the hay that's growing all over his back.
We could take him out. We could take him out to the farm, show him around. Go on a little hunting trip.
You're hitting everything he doesn't
You have
want
a
to
big
do.
television.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you just watch sports with him?
I walked in Drew once and knocked on the door. Door's open and he's
On the couch.
He's on the couch. The TV's on. He's sleeping, and in his hand is his phone, checking his ratings on iTunes. It's just sitting there like, I'm like, man.
He's a unique man.
So we need to figure out a little different marketing then.
Yeah.
That's great, dudes. The Drew Lane Show, and also the Soul of Detroit with ML Elric, sort of an unofficial consortium, Red Shovel Network, right?
He's been taking on some of the establishment.
Yeah, man. Like we support each other.
Yeah.
Okay, acidified deodorant wipes. Try one of these. I haven't tried these yet. Here you go. You need that. Your mascara's running. I'm gonna try it. Jason, you want to try one of these?
No, I'm okay.
Did you mention the promo code?
No, he still hasn't
Good.
mentioned it. So
No BS Newshour? Is that?
I think it's just no BS.
It
No
says
BS is
acidified
the-
deodorant, right? Meaning
Thank you,
it's
Jason.
clean, but it doesn't sting.
No, they're good
you
products.
want it to sting?
No, that's why.
That's
I
when
don't
you
use
know
them.
it's working.
Yeah, Mando.com. All right, so let's do a little international news here, if you don't mind. As you folks know, we're very plugged in here, and I'm looking at Venezuela, and you know I know some titans of Wall Street. They were college friends, etc. You know, they make trades for the Sultan of Brunei,
What are you, Yale grad or something? Or
Michigan, and Berkeley.
oh, fancy.
Yeah,
Fancy.
public schools.
Oh.
But you got to have a good mind, right, Mark?
Yep.
Let's go blue.
Go
Public
blue.
Ivies.
Let's go blue.
Those are public Ivies.
We got a good coach now.
Finally.
Good, solid
Which school?
Ann Arbor, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you thought it was bad with Mel Tucker, and then U of M's like, hold my beer.
Yeah, right. Fuck.
I can't. I just, you're reading that story. That's going to be made in the movie sometime.
Yeah.
It has to be made into a
It's
movie.
gonna be a Lifetime movie.
One was consensual.
Maybe we can do a dreamscape of like those two guys hanging out at Harbaugh's house.
Yeah.
How to lose $80 million?
Idiots.
So like Venezuela, what's going on now? Look, here's the deal with the Titans of Wall Street. And if you watch the show, you know we have them on. The administration must speak to the Titans because the Titans call each other, right? The administration must give them a direction because the last thing you want is the markets to be erratic. So the markets need to understand where this thing is going. This is just what's happening. They're just doing conference calls all day, these guys, because they're the ones that trade oil futures. So this guy's a buddy of mine. This is how I stay plugged in. We had a talk, and then he wrote this to me. He just texted it. I'm going to read it to you. Venezuela. Once again, it's all about China. For 20 years, China provides horrible loan terms to Venezuela. The Venezuelan oil is used as collateral for those loans that are at 8%. The terms of the loans are impossible to ever pay back. China is the largest buyer of Venezuelan oil at below market prices. That was set back in 2009. So like they're getting bled dry by China. China's the new imperialist. And they just recouped their money from the loan interest. So Venezuela in perpetuity will be paying China because the oil's just paying for the interest. China promises to upgrade the ports and telecom infrastructure of Venezuela, placing fourth-generation technology into the ports, cranes, and telephone and data centers, allowing for military to take over both when and if needed. In 2008, I'll Google this, but do it. Just do some reading. In 2008, Ecuador defaulted on their Western debt. China swept in with all new loans and takes over Ecuador oil production, takes over Ecuador's ports on the Pacific Ocean. More than 80% of Ecuadorian oil is purchased by China. China rapes the virgin forest of Ecuador, cut down the trees, start drilling some more, and pisses off the indigenous people who own the land. China shuts them up and overthrows the Ecuadorian government, that happened, and puts in place the people they've paid off for the oil. Trump is waging a very direct threat to China. He doesn't give a shit about overthrowing Venezuela's government. It's all about shutting down China's major control of the oil economies and ports of the world. And finally, Trump had his grandchildren learn Chinese and recite it in front of Xi. You remember that? Google it. Make the photo op. Next, global tariffs. Next, get rid of the new NAFTA deal to stop China exploiting Mexico and Canada with flooded goods, which we've covered ad nauseum on this show. Tariffs on European nations force renegotiations of trade deals away from China. China pulls exports from the U.S. and floods the European Union with every product China makes. Trump forces China to attack the industrial complex of Germany and Europe. Massive layoffs in the EU. Remember Volkswagen? Never laid anybody off ever. This sways the Europeans against the Chinese influence. Next, Trump turns to Yemen. Yemen is 100% controlled by China to influence Israel in the Middle East. Trump bombs Yemen. Trump bombs Iran because China is its biggest buyer of oil. Now Venezuela is in our own hemisphere, and we take out the leader, have the CIA take out the Chinese sympathizers, and we very craftily blame it all on drug dealers, cocaine, and fentanyl. Convenient argument for Trump to take action. Trump gets the liberal pests to focus on the drug dealer boats, to focus on regime overthrow. And Trump wants that front and center, allowing Trump to fuck with the Chinese as much as possible.
It's our hemisphere.
That's right. Now, you know Panama. The Chinese, we built the ports on each side of the Panama Canal, and they were being run by a Hong Kong consortium. Not anymore. So if you're America first, My dad was in Nam. I went to Iraq. I'm not for forever wars for no purpose. But if you're America first, this is a purpose. I don't want my kids growing up under the yoke of the Chinese.
Well, and this is the point, is that here you have an administration, Governor Whitmer, has written 9-figure checks to companies affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party. The Nesbitt administration, I'm saying no company related to the Chinese Communist Party or the Chinese government can buy any farm or any land in the state of Michigan. Period, paragraph. We have to make sure no Chinese company can buy land in Michigan.
Have you introduced that legislation?
The House passed it.
Was it
Get
yours?
it done.
Was it yours?
I'll sign it when governor. Absolutely. But this is the point, is you have some folks that are actually, the current administration actually giving checks to these folks. We need to treat them as they are, adversaries.
We're financing our adversaries.
And here you have folks,
No
you went
doubt.
to U of M, Ann Arbor, right? And yet you had kids bringing in bioterrorist weapons, to poison our food supply. You had kids in their 20s spying on our National Guard bases up in northern Michigan that were arrested. I mean, these aren't just one-off incidences.
Right. They pay. Ann Arbor's selling us out because they pay the premium, the whole freight, the $60,000 a year in tuition. In state is $20,000 plus housing and all that. We're being sold out. Like, why is it that the University of Michigan, only 50% of the student body's from Michigan? You know what it is at Berkeley? Berkeley, it's 85% Californians. Texas, another great school, it's 95%. What the fuck are they doing to us? Are you going to change that?
That is the challenge. Is you think it's bad now? Can you imagine? Would it be under Jocelyn Benson or Mike Duggan? It's going to be a lot worse. The economy, education, cost of living. Nobody's going to shake up the status quo and take a blowtorch to the bureaucracy that's up there in Lansing. I'm going to do that as your next governor.
It's Kid Rock's brother. Billy, I'm on the air here, bro. What's going on? No, anything, house burning down? Everything cool? Oh, I love you, man.
Nice.
How's your leg? All right, I'll talk to you later.
How's your leg?
Hey, did you golf with Trump this week? All right, man.
That's me when my wife calls.
He's kind of my wife. It's a really good dude. All right, so you're running for governor. When's the primary?
August.
August.
Do you vote in primaries?
I do not.
You don't.
No.
Well, it'll be about 1 million Republican primary voters.
See, back when the New York Times was cool, when they actually taught you things, how to conduct yourself as a reporter, and you were not allowed to have campaign bumper stickers and stuff like that, which I thought was good. Just maintain an air of disinterest. And so I never even voted in primaries. You know
Boy, that's not the case anymore for these mainstream media.
No, they're
Is
fucked
it?
up.
I mean, this year's election, we can either continue the status quo and continue being a bottom 10 state in education, economic growth, per capita income, job creation, or we can actually shake things up in Lansing. And this is going to be the transition this year. And you either have a governor that's willing to take on the status quo in Lansing, the lobbyists, the special interests, and actually take a blowtorch to state government, making sure state workers actually return to the office. And this is something where I'm presenting is saying that it's going to be about families to lower the cost of living for them on insurance, on energy, on the cost of government. It's going to be about taking a blowtorch to the bureaucracy and the red tape in Lansing to make sure our small businesses and our farmers and job creators can actually invest and grow to increase wealth here in the state. And it's about providing choice for our parents on schools. It's about making sure that every kid can read at grade level. And it's about making sure that we end this BS of saying every kid has to go on to college.
Right. And nursing homes. Don't forget nursing homes.
I think that every kid, no matter what their background or what they want to be, should be prepared for either the workforce or college when they're done with high school.
Well, that's a news flash.
Well, for every 5 people retiring from the trades right now, this Mike Rowe, you know, the guy from Dirty Jobs.
Yeah.
He was in Michigan a few months ago, and he says every 5 people retiring from the trades, there's only 3 people replacing them.
Yeah.
We've had 2.5 decades, a generation of folks saying, don't go into the trades. Don't go into these good blue collar jobs. And we've lost a half a generation of tradesmen here in Michigan.
Well, YouTube influencers is trade, isn't it?
Gen Z thinks so.
All right. Listen,
Everybody should be able to make it in Michigan, Charlie. Even you.
Well, here, let me give you this, man.
Yeah, boy.
This is a made in Detroit, no bullshit news hour, collectible T-shirt. There's only like 18 of them left.
I need your signature.
Yeah, you can have
Can
that.
you sign it?
So there's 18 of these left. Do me a favor, go to madeindetroit.com, get the last 18. It reminded me because like every dollar that gets raised on this, we quietly give it to a young person that we think has a really good shot at a future and just needs a little help. That's what we're doing with it, right? I wish you all the luck.
Hey, God bless you.
Thanks for
Thank
being
you so
here.
much. So
Aric
to the battle.
Nesbitt, candidate for Senate Minority Leader, Aric Nesbitt, who's running for governor on the Republican ticket. I wish you luck. And
Just a farm boy fighting the liberals in Lansing.
golly. All right, we'll see you next week. And remember, fight the power. Hey, what you say we go downstairs and get a beer and a coney dog?
What about a beer and a coney dog?
Sounds good. See ya.